All right, welcome to the community conversation. Sam and I are back with another nutrition episode. This one is specifically going to talk about the 24 hero workouts for 24 hours and how to fuel yourself for that. And so some of you guys are going to be doing workouts, several in a row. So we might not maybe know what we should eat, how much to eat. And that's what we want to talk about a little bit today. I guess we'll start off with like, Sam, let's talk a little bit more of like, what do we do like leading up to that day? Because sometimes we just think of like the actual day of, but we kind of like neglect some of the things that can really help us feel really good, like starting off that day. So what would you recommend?
For sure. So today is, well, when everyone hears this, it'll be Thursday. And we're starting Saturday morning. So that's a day and a half of time to properly hydrate. And that's probably the biggest thing is that hydration is the thing that like makes or breaks like endurance races. So this is like something that you would look at as like a big event and you want to make sure that you're hydrated from the start. It's great to hydrate day up, like don't get me wrong. But starting off well hydrated is going to save you in the long run. So I would say first things first, like everyone needs to drink at minimum like 80 ounces of water a day leading up to the event. I mean, that's like at least what I want everyone drinking on a regular basis. But if you don't do that already, start doing it now. So I think first step is hydration. And then like second step is food. And from my perspective, I would go in eating pretty much what you normally eat. Making sure that you're just getting a really good balance of proteins, fats, and carbs. John, do you want to kind of break down what that looks like and what people should be eating, I guess, a little more specifically?
So, I mean, so is your question like asking like what protein, carbs, and fats foods look like? Is that your question?
Yeah. Or like some meal ideas for people leading up to the event over these next couple of days might be helpful.
Yeah, so I guess it would be, like, so I mean, some breakfast ideas could be like doing, like a bagel with a couple eggs. It could be doing like cereal with like a Greek yogurt. It could be doing like, a protein shake and a banana, like it depends on like your appetite. I'm thinking more like, this is just like general, like overall, like how, like a healthy, like way to start your day. The day of, I would personally try to give yourself a little bit of room, especially if so I'll use myself as an example. Like I'm doing the first 3 workouts. First workout starts at 7:00. I'm going to want to go ahead at like, I'm going to wake up at 5:00 and I'm going to have like, I have cereal every day. So I'm just going to have my normal breakfast. But that's what I would do is I'd have something that's like carb heavy, have oatmeal, have like some cereal, but give yourself like enough time to like digest it. So I'm going to eat it like 5:15-ish. And then it's going to give me over an hour to like digest and also try to like hydrate the morning of. I do the workout. The first one has like it's 100 chest to bar pull-ups, 100 thrusters. It's broken up between 3 people. And then it's a 6-mile run. The 6-mile run is you're running with your team, you're running 2 miles. And remember, we can scale any of this stuff to what's appropriate to us, but we just to put like context behind it, you're going to be doing a decent amount of running in that workout. And whether we're lowering the volume or not, I'm sure it's relative to you. So when you do something that is cardio based, your body's fueling off of carbohydrates. So having a carb heavy breakfast, I personally like to have like the Kashi cereal because it actually has like a little bit of protein in the cereal. And then I have a cup of milk with it. So I get like 25 grams of protein with that cereal. I think the cereal has like, I don't know, I have 2 servings and it has like 9 grams of protein per serving. So it's like 18 there. And then a cup of milk is like another 8. So it's like 20 something grams of protein, but higher amount of carbohydrates for that meal. Now, I don't know if I'm answering your question, but did you want like meal ideas for like lunches and dinners like the day before, like how to be able to eat like leading up to that actual day?
Yeah, like, so what would you eat in like the day before? So like Friday breakfast is going to be your normal. Lunch is going to be also your normal.
I really wouldn't change too much. If I would probably
Mhm.
have a higher carb dinner though, right?
Yep.
Honestly, like it doesn't really matter what you're doing as long as you're having like the timing of if you have it at nighttime or if you have it earlier in the day, it doesn't really matter as long as you're getting enough carbohydrates throughout the day before to accumulate replenishing your glycogen. Because some of you guys are going to work out on either Thursday or Friday. I'm sure you're not going to rest starting on Wednesday and taking the next 2 days off. But either way, like you need to replenish stored carbohydrates that have been lost. Your body stores carbohydrates in the form of glycogen. Your body can store like up to 400 grams of carbs. So having more reserved glycogen in your body, stored carbohydrates, you're going to be able to utilize that for during your workout. So that's what I would try to really prioritize, is making sure that I'm not neglecting carbohydrates, right? So you can think like, okay, like I ate a really healthy lunch of like a salad and chicken. That is great, but that's totally different than having like that's a lower carbohydrate meal. Like that can be a great way to get protein and a great way to get a lot of like nutritious foods in. But you still want to go ahead and try to like get carbohydrates in your meals. So I would use that salad as a side dish to my like my
Rice.
my rice or my pasta or something along the lines of that.
Mhm. Now,
And
day of, you're doing 3 back-to-back workouts.
yep.
So what's your strategy going into it in terms of like your breakfast is gonna be normal a couple of hours before you work out? Do you have plans for snacks? Do you have plans for post-workout meals? Talk to everyone about that.
Yeah, so I haven't thought exactly about it, but this is kind of my general of what I'm probably anticipating I'm going to do. I'm going to eat like my normal breakfast. I'm going to do the first workout. I'm going to have Gatorade or like vitamin water or something along the lines of that. One that has sugar in it, not like the zero sugar. Like this is where like it's really important to understand the context behind why we would select certain things. You would want to have something like that because it'd be easy on your stomach. And that first workout's pretty long that you're not going to have a ton of time to go ahead and eat much. So like some Gatorade would be really good. Like probably like drinking, I don't know, like 8 to 12 ounces of Gatorade before starting that second workout. The second workout is now we're not going to go through all 24, by the way. But the second workout is 5 rounds for time with a partner. This one is, in my opinion, a little less intensive because you actually have like a little bit more rest. It's I'm thinking off the top of my head, but it's I think it's like 30 it has deadlift, sit-ups, and 200-meter run. So it's a 400-meter run, but you're doing it in 200-meter relay. So if Sam and I are partners, I'd run 200, then she'd run 200. And then we'd split up 30 setups. So 15, 15, and then we're splitting up 15 deadlifts for 5 rounds. So there's going to be like a little bit of rest in there, but that workout's probably in total going to take about, it's probably going to take about 25 minutes. So that means that you're going to have about 30 minutes that you can actually eat a little something and digest. I mean, you're not going to probably eat anything super heavy, but that would be something that maybe eating like half a peanut butter and jelly sandwich might actually feel pretty good. Like something that is simpler, right? Where you maybe don't want to have like high fiber bread or anything like that. You might want to have something that's a little bit lighter on your stomach. So maybe like a white bread, honestly, or like a hoagie roll or something like that with like a little bit of turkey and cheese, something that you can go ahead and get some calories in, and that's gonna not be super heavy on your stomach. I would probably go ahead and do like I'd probably eat like a pure protein bar or something like that if it was that early in the morning and I already did like one workout and didn't have protein after it. I'd probably go ahead and do like a protein bar, like a 200 calorie like protein bar, something like that. And then when I did the third workout, then I'd have like a meal after it.
So it's like your 3 are back to back. So it's like 3 hours of exercise, but snacking and hydrating in between with like normal breakfast, normal lunch for you.
Yeah, I'd probably bring like for me doing the first 3 workouts, I'd probably bring 2 Gatorades, and we're also gonna have I know Brendan's bringing he's gonna have like his coffee maker here and whatnot. I don't know if I would actually have that or not. Some people would need that during the nighttime, but we're gonna have like fruit here as well. So something like along the lines of that, like fruit would be good. Like something that's gonna give you a little bit of sugar. Anything along the lines that would be like a really good idea. Now, if you're doing like someone like Garrett who's doing 24 hours, you can't go ahead and just like you can't go 24 hours off Gatorade, right? So what I would do is I would look at the workouts, and the workouts that are going to give you the most amount of rest, that are going to be the quickest ones. That's when I would plan on having more substance, where you're actually going to be able to give yourself a little bit of time to digest like your food a little bit, but at no point you're ever going to be eating like a normal meal. It's going to be more like probably every 2 to 3 hours, you're probably going to have like more like a snack, like after every workout, you'll probably have 100 calories of like Gatorade, and you might have like 200 calories of like a protein bar or something like that every few workouts. And then you might have like half a sandwich here and there, and little things along the lines of that. Like your body will prefer carbohydrates, but you're also probably going to want things like almonds or peanuts, like something like that you can get some quick calories in, that aren't going to be really heavy on your stomach. Like those are all really good like snack ideas to be able to bring to the gym, like granola bars, like things like that can just be like not super heavy, not super filling.
Yeah, good point. I think about them as like hiking snacks. I don't know if anyone listening is a big hiker. I don't know if you're a big hiker, John, but it's like things that you don't need refrigeration for that have a lot of calories in them. It's like these are the situations where like this is the reason like Cliff Bars were invented, right? Like they're high in carbs, not super high in protein. That would be something to eat. PB&J, awesome. Big fan of like a tortilla with like some hummus and turkey, or hummus and cheese as a quick digesting food there. Trail mix, pretzels, fruit snacks, those little crackers. Joe actually has them in the back for his weightlifting club. You know, the ones with the like the pre-made ones with like the cheese or the peanut butter in them. Yep. What are they called? I think they're like Lance crackers or something. But like little things like that you can have that are really easy to eat quickly, aren't going to upset your stomach, and like definitely are like pack a punch when it comes to calories. Like now is not the time to eat 3 cups of broccoli in one sitting.
Yeah,
that would be not conducive to working out.
You mentioned pretzels. That's like pretzels or goldfish. Those are like actually really good ideas, because when we sweat, guys, you're going to be sweating out a lot of salt. So it's actually not a bad idea to have something that has a little bit more added salt in it, like a pretzel or a goldfish or something like that. Because if you don't replenish that sodium through like your Gatorades or anything like that, you want to try to balance out your electrolytes, hydrating and having that. You also get it through food. You probably start to cramp up a little bit and stuff like that if our salt intake gets a little bit low, because we sweat out sodium. So like the pretzel and goldfish that Sam mentioned, those are like really good ideas for actually feeling your best as you're doing like several workouts in a row. And not too many of you are doing 24 of these workouts, so we don't have to get like overwhelmed, but some of you guys are doing 3 or 6. Some of you guys are doing like 3 in a row, leaving and then coming back and doing another 3 or 4 workouts. That time in between, that's when you want to go ahead and like get your get the most amount of calories to try to fuel up, because you're not going to be having like a ton at once. So so if you were what would you also recommend in the sense of, after you've just done 3 of these workouts, what would you recommend people do? Like if they're like, I'm doing 3 and then I'm done, like me, what would you recommend that someone does after that?
Eat like a good meal. and something you enjoy. And I think people sometimes get really fixated on like, oh, I worked out, like I need to eat like the healthiest thing possible, or vice versa. I'm just gonna eat the most unhealthy thing I can get my hands on because I'm ravenous. And it's like, eat like you would usually eat, just a bigger portion. So spaghetti and meatballs, great post-workout meal, especially if you're doing several in a row. Any like rice, chicken, broccoli kind of deal, you know, like that meets all the macros. Thinking back, I ran a half marathon and like immediately had a couple slices of pizza. Like that was my post-workout meal. So it's like, if you can get a meal that has good amount of carbohydrates, but now is building in the protein and some solid fats, that's where you want to go. Whereas like before and during the workout, it's like carbs are your primary macronutrient. But then post-workout, protein. So if like that means immediately after you work out, protein shake needs to come first, because like you're sticking around for 2 extra hours and like cheering people on, then like make sure you're getting your protein. And I think we touched on it last week, but I like to say like you want to eat protein to carbs in a 1 to 2 to 1 to 4 ratio. And basically what that means is carbs should have, or you should get twice as many carbs as you do protein, right? So if you're eating, or if you're drinking a protein shake of like 30 grams of carbs, then you want to get sorry, I'm losing my mind. It's only Wednesday. If you're getting a protein shake of 30 grams of protein, you want to make sure that you get like 60 grams of carbs in that. And 60 grams of carbs is like nothing to laugh about. Like we want to make sure that we're getting probably close to like 1.5 cups to 2 cups of rice with that, 30 gram of protein shake. You really do want to make sure that you're replenishing. And like John said, like your muscle glycogen is going to be depleted, especially if you're doing 3, 4, 5, even 6, even 24 workouts. So getting a whole complete meal with more carbs than you probably think you need, definitely a good idea.
Yeah. And I'd also recommend too is, as tempting as it can be, like try not to drink alcohol like as soon as you're done doing like these hard workouts. Like I would try to fuel yourself, like drink a little bit of water. And if you do want to have like some alcohol, like I'd really try to like not have the hardest alcohol possible and try to limit the amount, right? Like if you have 1 beer, it's not going to be too bad. But if you have like 3 or 4 drinks, and especially if you're like adding in some like mixed drinks or something like that, like your recovery is going to be pretty trash. And if you're doing a lot of workouts and you're drinking alcohol, there can actually be some issues that arise. So I'd really try to limit your alcohol intake, especially if you're doing several workouts in a row. That's just like a disclaimer, like alcohol is good for you. Like I can't go ahead and spin that alcohol is good for you. It's fine to have sometimes, but like it's not going to make you feel, it's going to make your soreness feel worse if you have too much of it. So I'll just leave it at that. I mean, I think the last thing that we didn't mention is probably just get a good night's sleep the day before, the day before that. Try to prioritize like your recovery leading up to it, right? So like being well rested, not like drinking the day before and then coming to the gym and then doing several workouts. It's just a bad formula. So just try to like take care of yourself leading up to it. It's going to be a lot of fun. These workouts are going to be a little hard. It's going to get you out of your comfort zone, but it's nothing that we can't handle. Just take care of your body, listen to it, and it's going to be a good time. Sam, anything that we didn't mention?
I think we covered a lot. I am going to go live on Friday in the Facebook group. So if people do have more questions, that's like prime time to ask it. You get real-time feedback from me and ask super specific questions if you'd like.
You said you're doing
if I think of anything, 11 o'clock on Friday. Yep. Leading up to it. So you have time to go to the grocery store if you need to purchase food. But other than that, I think we covered a good amount of things. I think if we cover anything more, we're going to get too in the weeds. And really what it boils down to is like sleep well, stay hydrated, and eat well leading up to, during, and after the event. And you'll feel great. It's like any other workout at the gym. If you do one of these workouts, you've already done harder workouts at the gym, you can make it through.
Yeah.
It's going to be a fun event. I'm super excited.
Cool. Yeah, it's going to be great. Oh, and also I'm going to pick up some Rocco's donuts. So I'll have some Rocco's up there too. They need calories after or if they need to have a quarter of a Rocco's donut to go ahead and get themselves through another workout, like that'll be there.
I love it.
Yeah. All right, awesome. So again, Sam's going live on Friday at 11 o'clock. So that'll be a live Q&A for any of you guys that have any questions on the 24/24 nutrition, how to fuel yourself, like tune into that. But guys, thank you for listening. If you listen this far, thank you and have a good rest of your day.